Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live post-match reaction as well as a little bit of a news update, information and stuff about Manchester United. First of all, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the game. Second of all, we're going to be talking about Ralf Ragnick. And third of all, we're going to be talking about what will Ralf Ragnick be thinking about that Manchester United game. But guys, you know what? If someone said to me before the game that Manchester United were going to draw the game 1-1, I would have been very, very gassed with that. I would have said, you know what, considering how bad we've been lately, if someone said to me before the game, 1-1 draw, I'd 100% taken it. Am I super happy with the 1-1 draw? No, I'm not, because the penalty was a bit like, and yeah, no, I'm not. I don't feel great, but I'd love the 3 points. I think that Chelsea were the better team, and I think Chelsea deserved to win, but there was times where the 3 points were there for the taking. I mean, Fred doing the most Fred thing ever, trying to chip Mendy, and yeah, no, we weren't brilliant, and I think, we have to take a point. I am happy with a point. A point versus Chelsea, is a good thing. I think it's the fact that we went 1-0 up. I think if Chelsea had gone 1-0 up and we made a 1-0, you'd be more happy with the point, but I think it's the fact that we went 1-0 up that, overall the point isn't, the most amazing feeling, but definitely got to take a point against Chelsea there, 100%. Only 81 likes, need for 100 likes, guys. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and all of that as well. And as Steve said, not the best performance, but draw okay, then you give away a penalty is what it is onto Arsenal. Exactly, and Steve's basically talking facts there. It is what it is. We're on to Arsenal. Look, we gave away a penalty. If it's a penalty or not, I think that's up for debate. Look, I feel like it is harsh. I get why it's a penalty, but I'm a bit like it's harsh because Thiago Silva was not. I feel like Thiago Silva just stood in Wan-Bissaka's way, and Wan-Bissaka didn't know he was there, and it's one of those ones where you're just a bit, that's an annoying penalty. But I have to say, Jadon Sancho, guys, Jadon Sancho has arrived, and Ralf Ragnick is going to love Jadon Sancho, and he's going to turn Jadon Sancho into a baller because Ralf Ragnick worked with a lot of people that worked at Dortmund. TUCHEL, Klopp, okay? He works with a lot of people in that kind of style of football, in German football. Jadon Sancho excelled playing German football, the Dortmund style. Ragnick is going to play that style with Jadon Sancho. He's going to excel. He's already balling out now when we're playing absolutely shocking, scoring 2 goals in his last 2 games, looking really, really good. Trust me, with this, Jadon Sancho, he is one to watch for the rest of the season. Jadon Sancho, Fred, Cavani, Bruno Fernandes, I think all going to have really, really good second halves of the season. I tell you this now, and Fred was better than McTominay today. I know Fred missed a sitter, but Fred, man of the match over McTominay for me. If Jadon Sancho played the full 90 minutes, man of the match. Fred, better than McTominay. Fred has been better than McTominay lately, and Fred will be better than McTominay in Ragnick's system because Ragnick is all about the high press. And Fred, what did he do? Pressed up high, won the ball back high. When Fred gets up the pitch for Brazil, he plays well. When Fred's got up the pitch recently for United and won the ball back, he's played well. And I tell you what, watch Fred under Ragnick because we've been criticising Fred a lot. I don't know what's going to happen with McTominay. I think he could be dropped. I don't know. But Fred, I keep an eye on Fred. Honestly, keep an eye on Fred. I'm super, super happy with the win, guys. Let me know your thoughts. What the fuck? I'm super, super happy with the win. Obviously, we didn't win. Sorry, I'm super, super happy with the draw. We didn't deserve to win, guys. That's what I meant to say. Oh my God, what am I on? What am I on? I'm a bit tired. I won't lie. I am happy with the draw. I'm not feeling gassed about it because we did go 1-0 up and we did concede a penalty, but I will take the draw. 100,000,000% will take the draw. We played crap. We absolutely played crap. Let's get to the point. We were crap for the first 45 minutes. We were disastrous. Our average match positions, and I will get some statistics up and all of that on the screen, but our average match position for the first half was all in our own half. We barely left our own half in the first half. We literally played 45 minutes of football in one half of the football pitch. That was Manchester United in the first half. It was depressing. It was negative. It was boring. The first half, did not like the first half. Absolutely awful. And what that showed me, and I think what that told us all, watching United in the first half, was that the whole coaching staff should have gone. And we've been saying, look, Ollie shouldn't be the only one getting sacked. We've been saying, Phelan, McKenna, Carrick, they need to be sacked along with Ollie. And we've been saying that. But today and Villarreal proved why we're saying that, because it proved that it's not just Ollie. The questionable substitutions, the back hate, the Fred obsession, it's still continuing without Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because it's come from the coaches. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just a victim of crap coaches. This obsession, this Fred love, this McTominay's on a yellow and being absolutely shocking, but we're not going to sub him off for Donny. If we're going to bring Donny on, it's going to be for Bruno. It's so absolutely ridiculous. Scott McTominay got man of the match, and he was not man of the match. I'm sorry, I don't have a Scott McTominay agenda, but he's not been good enough lately. He was not man of the match. Sancho, Fred, Eric Bailly were all better than Scott McTominay today. All better. David De Gea, better. A couple Chelsea players were better. And I don't know why he got man of the match, and I thought that was a bit weird. But I think this is the last game under the Carrick and co. Ragnick's coming in. Obviously, Ragnick's going to bring his coaches, and we're going to talk about Ragnick's plan, Ragnick's philosophy, what Ragnick's like to do. That's all we're going to be talking about. So smash a like for that. Do subscribe and all that. Let me just have a quick drink of water, and then let's get into the content. Yes, guys. So first of all, I want to get something up. Will Ralph demolish Arteta? Hopefully, Ralph Ragnick is in for the Arsenal game. I really, really hope Ralph Ragnick will be here for the Arsenal game. He's obviously working on his work visa and all of that, but obviously, as a United fan, we want Ragnick in. We saw how negative and boring it was versus Chelsea. We know these coaches are unable to beat Arsenal. So I very, very much hope that we've got Ralph Ragnick in for the Arsenal game, but he's not actually confirmed to be in for the Arsenal game because of visa issues. But let's hope that he is 100%. And Alice, we played without our two main centre-backs. I think we did okay without our two main centre-backs. I have to say, actually, I forgot to write this down as one of my points. We didn't notice that Harry Maguire was missing. Captain, the centre-back that we have to play when he's injured because he's so much better than Eric Bailly, remember. But Harry Maguire obsession at Manchester United needs to be stopped. Because today, I didn't notice that Harry Maguire wasn't playing. I looked at Bailly and I went, Bailly's better. Eric Bailly is better than Harry Maguire and has been when he plays. And we said this a little bit last season, but we just said Eric Bailly's too injury prone, he's too inconsistent. Harry Maguire is meant to be captain of Manchester United, all of this. I did not even notice. I did not even notice that Maguire wasn't playing. Our best centre-back, our £80 million man, I thought we were a better team without him. And I don't like that I'm saying that because he is our captain, he is our £80 million man. But I do generally feel like we are a better team without Harry Maguire in the most nice way possible. Like I said, the most nice way possible. He doesn't add much and he's slow and I don't know what Ralph Ragnick's going to do with Maguire. I don't know if Ralph Ragnick's going to play Maguire. Obviously, Ralph Ragnick is bringing in his coaches, but he might listen to the Man United coaches at first. You don't know. And they might say, oh, look, get Maguire, blah, blah, blah. But I just thought, Maguire being out wasn't a big loss. I don't think Tellers was particularly bad either. I think, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka are a bit of a calamity down the right-hand side. Scott McTominay's a bit of a calamity, but I was quite impressed by Eric Bailly, and I thought that Alex Tellers, he did a decent job. He's obviously not at that level that we need him to be, but I think also with Alex Tellers, he very much requires match sharpness. I don't know what you guys think about that as well. Werner was our best player. Werner was Manchester United's best player because he missed a few sitters. Absolutely. I mean, Timo Werner really needs to sort his finishing out. My God. Werner's a good player. That's the thing. He just can't finish. If he could finish, he would be on 20 goals a season because it's not like he misses chances. He misses sitters. Only Timo Werner misses sitters. And I tell you what, Chelsea, as I said, deserved to win the game. They created a lot of good chances. I think if that was Lukaku starting and not Werner, could have been a different game. I understand why Tuchel started Werner, Lukaku's injury problems, and obviously Chelsea managed to get him behind our backline a few times, especially in the first half. Chelsea were dangerous. Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi with those early shots. Werner getting in behind, but De Gea coming off his line. Chelsea found it really, really easy to break us down, and I think this is the thing that concerns me about the coaching staff was we were playing a back eight. We were basically playing a back out eight today with Matic, McTominay and Fred all holding in the first half. And the reason Man United got better in the second half, because like Villarreal, McTominay and Fred got told to press hard at the pitch in the second half, whereas the first half was all about defend. And that's what we did versus Chelsea. But the thing that really, really worries me is that we were defending a lot versus Chelsea. And we're absolutely parking us. We played a back eight, but Chelsea got through us like that. And this is on the defensive coaching. And I think one of the reasons we've got such a bad defensive record, and it's a very, very obvious thing to say, is the defensive coaching. Wan-Bissaka tucking in. Wan-Bissaka's positional. Wan-Bissaka was never that bad. It's all on the coaching. None of the defenders have really got better under these coaches. How Maguire used to be the spare man and Lindelof would be going up to head with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Defensive coaching. Man United needs a defensive coach because this defence is an absolute mess and it has been absolute shambles for a while. But Manchester United massively need a defensive coach. And the fact that we played a back eight and Chelsea managed to get through us like that and one ball through it's concerning because they should not be finding it that easy to break us down if we are literally parking the bus. If Scott, Fred and Matic are our best players and they're good defensive players, why are Chelsea running through us like that? Bish, bash, bosh. Not acceptable. And I go to it and I go, yes, Ragnick's in. Yes, Ragnick's out of some coaches. But I'm like, these coaches 100 million% need to go. The favouritism to Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire is absolutely atrocious because they have been atrocious for a while and they still get picked. We were a better team without Maguire today. We were a better team when Scott McTominay was missing in the 45 minutes versus Watford. We have a better team without them. And these coaches are obsessed with these players. These coaches are obsessed with this boring Brexit football. We play like a BTEC Burnley. It's British FC. It's Favourites FC. And I'm absolutely done with that kind of football, and it's fuming me, and I just cannot wait for Ragnick and his coaches to get in. I absolutely cannot wait for Ragnick and his coaches to get in and hopefully make the changes that are needed to be made at Manchester United, because there's a lot of things that need to change, and obviously Ragnick is being hopefully allowed to bring his coaches. And I have to say, I want to show you a statistic, guys. I want to get this really interesting statistic up on my screen. So let me share my screen for you. But I don't expect an instant impact when Ragnick comes into Manchester United. I'd expect us to improve, but don't expect an instant impact, because this is the clear difference. Ragnick's team ranked first for tackles per game in the Bundesliga. We are 20th. No team has made less tackles than Manchester United in the Premier League this season. Only one team has made one less successful pressure, whereas Ragnick's team would be third for tackles and first for successful pressures. So this image shows how Ragnick plays and how Manchester United play. And Ragnick is the complete polar opposite manager to Manchester United. First for tackles, first for pressures, second for final third pressures, first for interceptions, first for recoveries, first for goals conceded. Manchester United are between 20th and 18th for all of these stats that Ragnick's teams are first for. So when Ragnick comes in, do not expect us to turn around and us to win every game and it will be brilliant, because it's going to be a massive change for these players. They're going to have to learn. They're going to be actually properly coached. These players haven't been properly coached for a while. They're now going to play in a system that's expansive, that's attacking, that requires high energy. And, players like Donny van der Beek, Jadon Sancho, I think will excel because they're kind of used to that and they haven't been too involved at Manchester United as of late to fall into the crap system that we play. But I have to say, with Ralf Ragnick, you've got to remember, do not expect him to come in and turn it around straight away. Expect him to come in, see better football, start to see results, but actually expect Ragnick to do his job on the board later on. And the best thing about the Ragnick appointment is what he does on the board. But I'm super, super excited for the Arsenal match because hopefully it'll be Ragnick's first game if he can get this stupid visa sorted. Fingers crossed, because I do not want to watch another game with Carrick at the wheel, because although he hasn't lost yet, it's absolutely boring. I'm getting bored to death watching Manchester United play under Michael Carrick. Look at Ragnick's teams there. They press high up the pitch, they move the ball quickly, they pass forward, it's high, expansive football. Ralf Ragnick himself came out and said that he likes his teams to play attacking football. He likes to do a drill where whenever his team wins the ball back, they've got 10 seconds to score a goal, because he says, I want you to score a goal within 10 seconds of winning it back. And he wants his teams to press high up the pitch, win the ball back high up the pitch and score a goal. That is Ralf Ragnick's style of football, attacking on the front foot. Fullbacks come out, CDMs press really, really high. And what we did in the second half versus Chelsea, and what we did a little bit versus Villarreal, was we allowed one of the CDMs, Fred, to get much higher up. And I think one of the reasons Fred's been one of the best players today and one of the best players versus Villarreal, even though he was crap in the first half, actually he wasn't too bad in the first half of this game, is because when Fred's high up the pitch, he's very, very good at winning the ball back. McTominay gets a skip pass, and I don't think McTominay is going to work under Ragnick. I think he'll be given a chance, but I think McTominay is a player that Ragnick and his coaches are just going to go, man, you ain't good enough. But with Fred, I think he's absolutely going to sell under Ragnick, and we know that Ragnick will like Fred, and we will talk about what Ragnick probably thinks of the game and all of that. But Fred, excelled in winning the ball up high up the pitch, and that's what we expect under Ragnick. And I tell you this now: Fred, Jadon Sancho, Donny van der Beek, Edison Cavani, and Bruno Fernandes are 5 players that I think are going to be the main 5 under Ralf Ragnick, followed by Ronaldo. And a lot of these players that don't press, that don't play the Ragnick style, are in for a shock. McTominay, Maguire, I think are absolutely in for a shock under Ragnick, because they're not 100% protected now anymore as well, which I think is really, really interesting. Let me know who you're most excited to see under Ralf Ragnick. I have to say it's Jadon Sancho. As I said in the beginning of this video, Jadon Sancho's Manchester United career starts now. I tell you this, Jadon Sancho's United career starts now. Ralf Ragnick trained most of the Dortmund coaches. A lot of the Dortmund coaches, Tuchel and Klopp were Dortmund coaches. They trained under Ragnick. A majority of people that worked at Borussia Dortmund and the Borussia Dortmund style of play is Ralf Ragnick developed, Ralf Ragnick-esque. Jadon Sancho is just been amazing. Jadon Sancho's just been amazing for United. He scored 2 in 2, and he's playing in a shit system, and he's scoring goals, and he's on fire, and he's buzzing, and he's taking on players, and he's attacking. And Sancho's looking absolutely amazing at the moment. And that's in a system that doesn't suit Sancho. We know how good Sancho was at Dortmund. Sancho excelled in the Dortmund system. Ragnick's football is like the Dortmund system. Sancho's a player that we know presses. We saw from the pressing stats. Sancho's the only one of our attackers that presses. Sancho's the only one of our attackers that actively tracks back and wins tackles. Sancho's our attacker that's taking on players successfully. He's dribbling past everyone, bish bash bosh in between people. He's scoring goals. He creates chances. Sancho's a winger that can create. Sancho's a winger that can score. Sancho's a winger that can dribble. Sancho's a winger that can press. Sancho's a winger that track back. Sancho's a winger that runs a lot. And Sancho is a technical, intelligent winger. And Ralf Ragnick's style of football is technical and intelligent. Manchester United play like a beat at Burnley. Sit back, British, defend. Ragnick's going to come in and he's going to stop this boring ass football that we're seeing under Carrick. He's going to get rid of those coaches. Ragnick's going to bring in his coaches. And the football we're going to see under Ralf Ragnick and the football we're going to see a lot of these Manchester United players playing is technical football. And we've been screaming out for technical football a while because we have a lot of technical players and we're wasting them. Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno as cam, Donny right pivot, Sancho on the right-hand side. Imagine the three of them linking up on the right-hand side. Manchester United have been absolutely crap on the right-hand side for years. We've always been so much better on the left-hand side. But if you put Donny right pivot, Bruno as the right cam, and Sancho as sort of a right winger, and those three link up on the right-hand side, ping, and you've got to score a goal in 10 seconds. Ragnick's philosophy is win the ball high up the pitch and score a goal in 10 seconds. So Ragnick's going to want his players to win the ball out the pitch and score a goal in 10 seconds. Sancho and Donny move the ball quickly, progress the ball fast. What Donny van de Beek excelled so much in at Ajax was his off-the-ball movement to draw out defenders and the ability to get the ball and just move it fast, one-touch play. One thing that Donny van de Beek learned at Ajax is that one-touch play. Sancho can do that one-touch play. Donny and Sancho, I think, are going to link up absolutely brilliant under Ralf Ragnick. And I guarantee you this now that Ralf Ragnick's a massive fan of Jadon Sancho. And this is the perfect time for Ralf Ragnick to come in because Jadon Sancho's finally found form. He's finally started scoring. Jadon Sancho's finally starting to look like an absolute baller for Manchester United. And Ralf Ragnick's going to come in and take that to a new level because we're not going to play B-Tech Burnley football anymore. We're going to play like Dortmund kind of play. Not exactly how Dortmund play, but what I mean is Dortmund's style of football is attacking, it's technical. Who worked at Dortmund? Klopp, Tuchel. Who did Ragnick train? Klopp, Tuchel. Everyone that Ragnick trains goes to Dortmund because that's the style of football Dortmund want. And Ragnick's coming in. As I said earlier, guys, we can't expect Ragnick to come. See if Ragnick comes in for the Arsenal game. He'll definitely be here by Palace, but hopefully Ragnick will be here for the Arsenal game. But let's say Ragnick comes in for the Arsenal game. You can't expect Manchester United all of a sudden to be pressing and high up the pitch and dominating Arsenal. You can't expect an instant impact because he's only had a couple of days to work. And as you can see on the screen, we'd be going from one extreme to the other. We'd be going from the team that makes the least tackles to the team that makes the first tackles, the team that makes the second least pressures to the team that makes the most pressures. We are going from one extreme to the other extreme with Ralf Ragnick because Ollie is the polar opposite. So I'm not expecting the Manchester United players right away to be absolutely amazing. But what I do expect to see is just more technical football, attacking football. Yes, we got a result today versus Chelsea, 1-1. I will take that because Chelsea are top of the league and we've been crap and we've been battered a lot lately. And yes, we got a result versus Villarreal. But when we got that result versus Villarreal, when we got that result versus Chelsea, were we sitting here like, yes, what a performance? No. Our last couple of wins at Manchester United have been such shit wins in the sense that it's just been so boring to watch. You're not enjoying it because we're not attacking. I feel like we only have like 1 or 2 attacks a game. I feel like we only have 1 or 2 shots a game. It's been so negative. It's been so boring. We've been lacking so much at Manchester United. And with Ralf Ragnick coming in, and one of the things I massively like with Ralf Ragnick coming in is I know that we're going to be attacking. Ralf Ragnick's attack over defence. Manchester United has been playing all about the defence. And listen to this, guys, because this is, I think it's a really important point that I'm going to say. Is that Manchester United have been a team about defending, a team about keeping clean sheets, a team about protecting the centre-backs. Manchester United for the last year have been about protecting the weakness. The reason we play McFred and the reason we play so deep and the reason we defend and hit on the counter is because our weakness is Maguire and Lindelof as a defensive centre-back duo. They're not good enough. So we play McFred really, really deep to protect them and get them as little exposure as possible. When the defence was playing bad, we played 5 at the back to literally bubble wrap Maguire with a centre-back either side and 2 CDMs ahead of him. We're playing 3 CDMs to defensive football because Man United for the last year have been playing to our weaknesses. Maguire and Lindelof have been a weakness. McFred have been a weakness. So we're playing the most defensive, most negative, lack of tactical, least tactical football ever to accommodate our weakness. We're playing to our defence. We're playing to our weaknesses. Manchester United, when they get Ralf Ragnick in, are going to start playing to their strengths. We're going to start playing to our strengths when we get Ralf Ragnick in because what's our strength? Wingers attacking football. Our strength is probably wingers. Our strength is attackers. Our attack is 10 times the level of our defence. Our defence could get us relegated. Our attack could win us the Champions League. Cristiano Ronaldo, Mason Greenwood, Martial, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Amad Diallo, That's just 6 of our attackers that I've just named. Edison Cavani, 7. Jesse Lingard, 8. Paul Pogba can even play on the wing, 9. Donny van de Beek can even play on the wing, 10. Alanga, Shulatiri, Charlie McNeil, Hannibal Mejbri also come through. There's so many elite players at Manchester United. And under Ragnick, he's going to utilise that. Because at Man United, we've been literally playing 8 defenders and 3 attackers. 8 defenders on 3 attackers is absolutely criminal. Ragnick, you're going to see 5 attackers and 5 defenders. Ragnick is going to be 5 attacking-minded players under Ragnick and 5 defensive-minded players under Ragnick. Manchester United are playing 8 defensive-minded players and 3 attacking-minded players, which is an absolute disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace, but we're going to be seeing a lot more attacking-minded players under Ralph Ragnick, which I'm super, super excited to see. Ralph Ragnick obviously watched the game today, as we know, and, he probably watched that game. And obviously Thomas Tuchel was asked, is this anything that you think came from Ragnick or anything like that? And Thomas Tuchel said, this is nothing to do with Ragnick. The football we saw today is nothing like what you're going to see under Ragnick. That's what Thomas Tuchel said. He literally said that Ragnick's so different to this. And, this lineup was not influenced by Ragnick. This was Carrick. This was the coaches. We all know that. Ragnick, what we're going to see from Ragnick is going to be so, so different to what we saw today and what we're seeing right now. We are going to see attacking, fast-flowing football under Ragnick. Ragnick's lineup is probably going to be a 4-2-2. It's going to be probably the likes of Donny and Fred in the pivot. I think it will be a pivot of Donny and Fred. I think the cams or the wingers will be Bruno and Sancho. They'll be playing as cams/wingers, and the strikers will be Cavani and Ronaldo. I think that's what we're going to see under Ralph Ragnick, because Ralph Ragnick probably watched that game and he probably was saying, I like Fred. I like how Fred won the ball back up the pitch. He probably goes, I like what I've seen of Donny van de Beek. I haven't seen much of him, but I can see that he's a good player. He moves the ball quickly. He does his 1-2s. Ragnick wants his team to score a goal within 10 seconds of winning the ball back. Ragnick wants his team to be good at the press and heart of the pitch. Donny and Fred add that. Ragnick's probably seeing that and going, that's what I want in the pivot. Ralph Ragnick is probably looking at Jadon Sancho and going, Jadon Sancho's an absolute baller. He's going, Jadon Sancho just scored a goal again. And Ralph Ragnick, I tell you this now, I think Ralph Ragnick probably knows more about Jadon Sancho than any other, well, probably Ronaldo. Ralph Ragnick probably knows more about Jadon Sancho than pretty much any other player in this Manchester United squad, because he's a German, he watches the Bundesliga, he watches Dortmund. Ralph Ragnick knows who Jadon Sancho is, he knows who he's all about. I felt like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Ralph Ragnick for 2 years, even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Jadon Sancho for 2 years, even though Ole chased Jadon Sancho for 2 years, he then played him on the left wing, played him in a way that he doesn't normally play, and then benched him. Whereas Ralph Ragnick knows who Jadon Sancho is and he knows what his strengths are. Ralph Ragnick knows he's a technical player, he's a winger, he can press and all of that. And I think Ralph Ragnick knows more about Jadon Sancho than pretty much any other player. So I think we're going to see really the best of Jadon Sancho. Like, when I say his career starts now, I am being serious. Like, he was a baller versus Villarreal. He was really, really good today. I think he shouldn't have been subbed off. Smash a like on the video if you don't think Jadon Sancho should have been subbed off. Smash a like if you agree with me and think that they should not have subbed Jadon Sancho off, because I think that's a silly, silly decision to sub Jadon Sancho. So smash a like if you agree. He shouldn't have been subbed off, but he's been class his last 2 games in a system that plays crap. Imagine Sancho in a system that plays good. Sancho gets barely any of the ball for United. Sancho is a player that needs a lot of the ball. This is the problem with Bruno. Bruno's been crap lately because he barely gets the ball. Bruno, when he gets the ball, makes things happen. Sancho, when he gets the ball, makes things happen. But because of the football we've been playing, has been so defensive, so negative, because the coaches are playing to our weakness, because the coaches I've got this negative defensive philosophy that they want to send us all to sleep. McKenna and Carrick worked under Jose Mourinho and they worked under Ole, and we've been absolutely boring under both managers. They need to be sacked as soon as Ragnick comes in, and Ragnick will be bringing one of his coaches, Lars. I think Ragnick's bringing 2 coaches to Manchester United, which, thank bloody God, guys, because I can't listen to Carrick or McKenna and any of that. So negative. But what we're going to see is just attacking good football, fingers crossed. But yeah, Manchester United just keep playing to their weaknesses and their defensive football, and that's not Manchester United. And attacking football, fast-flowing football, super important. Guys, smash a like on the video if you have not already, and if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do subscribe down below. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news and more, do make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be live tomorrow night with a Ragnick update. Apparently the players that Ragnick is looking to sell and buy in January. There's a lot of news about who Ragnick wants to bring in January and who wants to sell. So that's going to be tomorrow's live stream. Thursday's the Manchester United versus Arsenal watch along, followed by a match reaction. And at the weekend will be Manchester United versus Crystal Palace match blog, as well as lots of other content. So do subscribe for that if you haven't already. Cheeky little stat for you: 20% of Chelsea's goals conceded have come from Michael Carrick. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? a little bit of banter there and all of that. I have to say a couple of things about the game before I get into the Ragnick comments and all that as well. I have to say you have to take 1-0 as a United fan. I know that we went 1-0 up. I know the penalty was like, ugh. But you have to take 1-0 as a United fan. I'm happy with it. I wanted a win, but I'll take 1-0. Much better in the second half. Still crap, still negative football. I think what we learned from the game most importantly is it's just as much the coach's fault as Ollie's fault at the moment, because that was no different to Ollie Ball. It just the only difference between today and Ollie Ball was we didn't get battered. It was still the exact same style of football we played on Ollie, still the exact same weird substitutes, still the exact same Fred. They don't get subbed off even when they're crap and McTominay's on a yellow. It was still the exact same as what we see under Ollie and Sancho, but we did look a lot better in the second half, guys. And here's a really good statistic for you. Manchester United won possession in the final third 6 times versus Chelsea. Only against Newcastle United have they done more in the Premier League. So we won possession 6 times in the final third versus Chelsea. And Ralph Ragnick's philosophy and style of football is all about going and winning possession in the final third. And we started to do that today in the second half. And I think that's why we got better. We saw in the second half today that Fred started getting up the pitch, because for the first half, we were for the first half of the game, Manchester United were in their half the whole game. The whole game, we were in our own half for the first half of the Chelsea game. The whole 45 minutes of the first half was literally played in our half. Chelsea were in our half the whole time. We were defending our half the whole time. We were crap. We were outplayed. We were all over. The reason we looked better in the second half is because we came out and attacked. And Fred and McTominay, instead of just sitting there to protect the centre-backs, actually got told to go up the pitch and press. And we saw that with Fred. And Fred actually won the ball back quite a few times. And did you notice that Manchester United looked so much better when they started to press in the final third and try and win the ball back in the final third? And Ralph Ragnick's style of football, as I said earlier, is all about winning possession in the final third. And Manchester United in the second half won possession in the final third a lot of times versus Chelsea. And they excelled. And we looked much better in the final third. And we looked good when we won possession in the final third. And that is all Ralph Ragnick's style of play. It's win possession in the final third, then score a goal within 10 seconds. Because the most annoying thing is we'd win possession in the final third. Say McTominay would win possession in the final third. Then he'd take 5 touches, pass it sideways or backwards. And that's not what we want to see. Ralph Ragnick, when we win possession in the final third, is going to be saying, Scott McTominay, if you pass it backwards again, you're on the bench. Because Scott knows he'll never be benched under Ollie and the coaches. Ralph Ragnick was saying, Scott, if you pass it back one more time, you'll be benched. Ralph Ragnick says he hates nothing more than sideways and backwards passing. Ragnick's going to come in, we're going to win possession, he's going to go runs, forward, movement. And that is exactly what we've been lacking at Manchester United, and that's exactly what we need. And Michael Carrick was asked whether Ralph Ragnick had any input versus Chelsea, and he said no, he managed to prepare the team for 2 massive games, came out positive, we'll see what happened. Ralph Ragnick was nothing to do with today's result. Ralph Ragnick was nothing to do with the team sheet or the selection. That was all Michael Carrick. For anyone thinking, did Ragnick tell Carrick to pick this line up? But no, he didn't. Obviously, he didn't. I still think it's criminal. Cristiano Ronaldo was dropped, but what could have Ronaldo done even if he played? He got absolutely no service. I still think it should have been Donny and Fred in the pivot, Bruno as cam, Ronaldo as striker, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left. I still think that's what we should have seen today. And hopefully that's something that's similar to what we'll see under Ralph Ragnick. Guys, smash a like on the video if you're really happy that Jadon Sancho scored. And also let me know down below, who was your man of the match? Who was your man of the match? Because McTominay for me is not man of the match. I don't know why I got man of the match. I think it was about 5 players, 10 players overall better than him. Fred, I think Sancho would be man of the match if he played the full 90 minutes. And I do think it's criminal that Sancho got subbed off before Rashford, before Bruno. He was so much better. Bruno was crap today. McTominay was crap today. And Wan-Bissaka was crap today. Sancho was our best player. He got subbed off. But Fred was really, really good today. Fred did not commit a single foul, guys. McTominay almost got sent off. Fred did not commit a single foul. Fred made 2 successful tackles. He won 3 fouls. Fred made 4 interceptions. Fred made 4 passes into the final third. Fred made 4 passes into the final third. It's like Fred knows Ragnick's coming in, because the last 2 games, Fred has looked really, really impressive. He's winning possession back and he's making final third passes. It's like Fred knows Ragnick's coming in and Ragnick's watching, because all of a sudden Fred's starting to look like a Ralph Ragnick player. Yes, and Fred got 9 ball recoveries. He made 26 successful passes out of 32. So Fred was really, really good today, and he was playing a bit Ragnick-like. And Look, I know we all slate Fred and all of that, but there is a player in Fred. He's good for Brazil. He used to be good before he came to United, and he's had a few good games for United. But I think Ragnick is going to make Fred, Sancho, Donny, and Bruno absolute ballers. Clip it here, call it here. I just have a feeling about those players. I feel like they're going to become good under Ragnick as well. Get your comments in down below. I was asking who the man of matches. A lot of people saying Sancho, people say De Gea, Bailly, Lindelof. I think Bailly was better than Lindelof. I said earlier in the stream, and I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but I said we didn't notice that Harry Maguire wasn't there. Our £80 million centre-back, Harry Maguire, we don't notice his absence. We noticed Rafael Varane's absence. We've noticed Rafael Varane's absence so much at Manchester United, how bad we've been without him. But we've not noticed Harry Maguire's at all. not at all. We've noticed Harry Maguire's absence today. We look better with Bailly. We look better. Bailly and Lindelof look better than Maguire and Lindelof. But when we don't have Varane, we notice it. And I think that says a lot, again, about the coaches and the Maguire favouritism. Like, what is it about Maguire that you can't swap him for Bailly? Why does Maguire have to play every game? Because that's one game we couldn't play Maguire with and we played Bailly instead, and I think we look better. And what is it about Maguire that the coaches, again, are so obsessed by? The Maguire obsession for me, I find it absolutely baffling. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. Tuchel was asked if it looked like a Ragnick team that he was facing, and Tuchel said, not at all. Thomas Tuchel came out and said, the team that I played today was nothing like a Ralph Ragnick team. It will be very, very different when Ralph Ragnick comes in, which very much makes sense. And I guarantee you Ralph Ragnick was watching that game and he went Fred, Boosh. He went Sancho, Boosh. He probably went, I want to see Donny. He probably thought Bruno was absolutely freaking shocking. And I think Cavani's going to have a bit of a resurgence under Ragnick. And I also really want to see Amad Diallo be given some minutes. I want to see Amad Diallo be given some minutes as well, if you want my honest opinion. As well. And do you know what's really funny is Sancho, just like Martinelli, scored a goal from the halfway line against Chelsea. So, you know how Arsenal fans still go on about that Martinelli goal from the halfway line? Sancho has just done the same because he took it from the halfway line. So big up Jadon Sancho as well. But Manchester United, look, I'm happy overall. I'm happy with the draw. But yeah, I want to show you something. Here. Let me get something else up on my screen. And then I'll read a few live chats and then I will do the cheeky little player ratings. But let me get this up. Is this the one? No, this is the one. Let me get this up on my screen. This was our average position throughout most of the first half. This here. This is shocking. Like, this is absolutely shocking. Like, you have to agree with me. You know, we're going to go from this to very much where our average position will be twice as high under Ragnick. Because Ragnick's all about staying in the opposition half. When I say it, Ragnick is the polar opposite of Michael Carrick. I'm not lying. Ragnick's all about getting all his players into the opposition's half. We didn't even leave our half. Ragnick's the complete opposite. And I thought that was a crazy stat that they shared within the first half. And I tell you what, you're not going to see anything like that under Ralph Ragnick. You're going to see nothing like that under Ralph Ragnick, which for me, again, is the most exciting thing. And as you can see, you compare Ragnick to how we play now. Steve says, how McTominay got man of the match baffles me. Exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't. David says that we should stop playing Maguire. I don't think we miss Maguire. Honestly, if it was me, it would be Bailly and Varane at the back. If I owned Manchester United, if I was, involved in any of that stuff, it would be I'd play Bailly and Maguire at the back. I generally would. No, Bailly and Varane at the back. Oh my God, what is wrong with me today? I keep effing up what I'm saying. I play Bailly and Varane as my two centre backs if I was Manchester United manager. Because for me, Eric Bailly is better than Harry Maguire. He is better than Harry Maguire. Also, Bruno got given the captain's armband today. Do you think Bruno could become Manchester United captain? Because I don't know if Maguire's going to stay captain much longer either. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Now, Ragnick share thoughts on match. Yeah, we'll just talk about what Ragnick's thoughts on the match could be and if he's going to share thoughts on the match and all of that. And Thomas Tuchel obviously shared thoughts about the Ragnick situation and stuff. And I'm pretty sure there will be an interview coming out with Ragnick or something about the match because people will want that. But I think Ragnick will look to that. And I think he thought, fucking hell, I've got some changes to make. And a lot of news is coming out about Ragnick bringing in coaches now, which is mad. Fred actually played well today. It says Daniel, he did. And he played quite well in the second half versus Villarreal. So, yeah. And De Gea is captain for me. I mean, who would you give captaincy to? De Gea, Bruno, Ronaldo. And yeah, Sancho sub should not have happened. Sancho sub 100% should not have happened. If you agree with that, smash a like on the video. And as I've got a question, will Ragnick be in charge of the Arsenal game? I don't 100% know. They're hoping to get in for the Arsenal game, but it just depends on the visas and sorting out all of that stuff. But they'd hope to get Ragnick in, but I think it's very, very up in the air. I think he will be there for Crystal Palace, which I'm going to be there for the Crystal Palace game, by the way, guys. So I will most likely do a match blog to Manchester United versus Crystal Palace as well. So do subscribe for that, because this time next week will be maybe me at Ragnick's first game. I don't want to be going to Crystal Palace and Carrick be at the wheel. I'm so excited. I wasn't that excited, and now I'm super, super excited because we're going to watch Ragnick play, and I get to go to Old Trafford. And there will be a match blog for that up. So do subscribe, because I do watch-alongs, match reactions, but I often do match blogs as well when I go to the games. So, do subscribe as well to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on the match as well. We will do player ratings in just a second. You can tell that Ragnick had nothing to do with today's match. I mean, very different to what he Very different to what we normally see under Ragnick as well. Daniel said he'd give Bruno or De Gea captaincy, and maybe we need to adopt a 4-3-3 and improve the system. Will Ragnick play a 4-2-2 or Ragnick play a 4-3-3? We'll have to wait and see. What I do want to do is, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you how I think Ragnick's going to approach. I'm going to show you how I think Ragnick could possibly approach the games coming up and the player and what Ragnick's kind of system is. Because I've done a lot of research on Ragnick. I've done a lot of research on Ragnick. And he's more of he's like a 4-4-2, but it's more like a 4-2-2, where they are more like cams, but like wide cams, like creative players. He likes his wingers to almost be like quite wide creative players. And for me, that's very obvious that it's going to be Bruno and Sancho. He likes that creativity. He likes players that run around a lot and can, press and win the ball back. I think it'll be Fred and Donny. I think from watching the game today and what we know about Ragnick, McTominay and Matic aren't Ragnick players. I don't think Pogba is really. I think Cavani will be one of Ragnick's favourites, and I think Ronaldo will be. But I also think he'll be training. I think he'll also be training Greenwood because Greenwood's young to sort of suit the system, and I think Greenwood will start to play more in a striker role than a winger's role. I think Tellers will be preferred to Luke Shaw, but I still think Wan-Bissaka will be chosen over Delo. I still think Delo is a liability. Look, people hate Wan-Bissaka. I like Wan-Bissaka. I rate Wan-Bissaka. He was crap today, but I think there's a player in Wan-Bissaka. I think he's coached badly. I mean, Bailly and probably Varane, because you know what? If Maguire plays like he does under Ragnick, it's going to be Bailly getting him, because we all watched Man United play and we go, fucking hell, why is Bailly so clear of Maguire right now? I think this is something we could see under Ragnick for maybe the Arsenal game. Obviously, Varane, I don't think will be back in time for Arsenal. I'm not really sure what's going on with Cavani. I think Cavani's injured, but couldn't put money on it. But I think that's something that we could see under Ragnick. I think they're the type of players that Ralph Ragnick likes. Carrick came out in his interview, actually, guys. Listen to this. This is really interesting. Carrick came out in his interview and said, I can't hide from the fact I shouldn't be here, but everyone's put the club first this week. Michael Carrick literally admitted publicly that he shouldn't be at Manchester United. Michael Carrick literally came out and said, I can't hide from the fact I shouldn't be here, but everyone has to put the club first. Well, putting the club first is you leaving Michael Carrick because, But I respect him for saying that as well. Yeah. Honestly. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Smash a like on the video, subscribe down below if you have not already, and share your thoughts on the game. Ragnick coming in very, very soon for the Arsenal game. Let's get excited. Greenwood back from injury. Varane back from injury very, very soon. Pogba should be back just after Christmas. Things are looking up for Manchester United as well. And Jadon Sancho scoring goals. I think for me that the best thing coming up is that Jadon Sancho is scoring goals. Jadon Sancho is getting on that score sheet for Manchester United, and not only is Sancho scoring goals, but now he's going to have a manager in that's going to play the Sancho way, because Sancho's a technical player that likes a lot of the ball. And instead of being starved of service and having to score out of nothing, Jadon Sancho's actually going to have a lot of the ball. And look, you know what? As well, do you know what I'm going to say about Jadon Sancho? It's both Jadon Sancho's goals are very good goals. They weren't like tap-ins or they weren't easy goals. Both of Sancho's goals were very, very good finishes. The first one was a brilliant finish versus Villarreal, absolute banging goal. But the one today was a really, really good finish. That's not a hard situation to score in. Mendy's a good keeper and he had a lot of time to think. And I have to say, both Jadon Sancho goals have not just been goals, but they've been good goals. They ain't been like those little tap-ins that you see Sterling and Grealish do. Sancho's making stuff happen. And you think, Sancho has to make stuff happen at Manchester United because the football we play is so defensive, it's so negative, it's so unattractive, it's so boring that Jadon Sancho as a winger has to go and make stuff happen. Whereas, otherwise, you look at the situation and you go, you're under Ralph Ragnick, he's going to get a lot of the ball. There's going to be a lot of movement for him. There's going to be a lot of runs for him. He's going to have it a lot easier under Ragnick as well, which I think is what I'm most excited for as well. I'm going to do player ratings in a second. Ralph Ragnick has a good tactic, but he will play the players the age in between 23. It'll be difficult for Ronaldo to be included in the first 11, so that's my only concern. We're taking shots. I think, Ronaldo isn't the massive Ralph Ragnick player, but I think when you have Cristiano Ronaldo, you can't not play him. It's like having Messi and not playing him. I still think Ronaldo will be very much involved. I think it will be his idol starting 11 and Ronaldo, because you cannot drop Ronaldo at all. You cannot drop Ronaldo. Alice, who you go with for man of the match is Paul. I'm going to go with probably Sancho or Fred. Maybe I think Sancho, but I have to give it to Fred because he played the 90. And when do you think Man United should be challenging for the title? We should have been challenging for the title this season, but we are 12 points behind Chelsea, so very, very doubt it. I think it's top 4 this season. I'm hoping we can go for the Champions League, but I think it's a bit ambitious. I'd rather keep Ronaldo than Rashford. Ronaldo can't run, but at least he can score. Rashford can't dribble and scores little goals. too little goals. No, Rashford scores quite a few goals. He just hasn't been at his best lately. And, Rashford's a victim, I think, of just the way United are playing. I think, Greenwood, Rashford, we know, and Martial even, and Sancho, we know are all individually really, really good players. But, when the team isn't playing good, when the system isn't good, when the tactics isn't good, sometimes you have to feel sorry for them. I think they're just a victim of the system that we're playing in. Should United sign Boateng to replace Maguire? Alice says. Noah, no way. I don't want Boateng. I'd rather stick with Maguire. He's finished. And I don't want to see Carrick in charge versus Arsenal, says Paul. Smash your like if you want Ragnick for the Arsenal game. Smash your like. And where can Pogba play in the 4-2-2? I think Pogba would be used in that Bruno role as a left winger. I don't think he'll be used deep in the pivot because he's got to run around a lot, and I don't think he's that kind of player. He's coming on Monday. Hopefully Ragnick's coming on Monday. The Ragnick announcement will be soon, definitely. We were robbed today, Alice. We should have won 1-0. I think Chelsea were the better team over the game, but I thought the penalty was a bit like, what's he meant to do situation. So you could say, I think the ref was an absolute... Honestly, the ref was a knobhead. Smash your like if the ref was a knobhead. He gave Ronaldo the most petty yellow card ever. He gave Thomas... I don't support Chelsea, but why are you giving Thomas Tuchel a yellow card? Then he gave Bayer a yellow card. He gave literally every player on that pitch a freaking yellow card. That ref was such a petty one, wasn't he? Did not like that ref whatsoever. Even I support United, but even booking Thomas Tuchel, I was like, what is wrong with this ref? Get on with the freaking game. Like, he was the one slowing the game down, and he was booking people for time waste. And I'm just like, get over yourself. I didn't like the referee one bit. He's a crap ref. Rashford is coming another Ollie. He talks a good game, but he doesn't deliver. No, Rashford's a good player. We all know Rashford's a good player. He's not in the best form, but Rashford scored 3 goals in 6 games, so he's not awful. Only 112 likes needed for 300 likes. Guys, we've got over 300 people watching. The target is to hit 300 likes. So if everyone that hasn't smashed that like button hits that like button, we will hit our target of 300 likes. And of course, do subscribe if you're new. I will be live tomorrow with a transfer news update about who Ralf Ragnick wants to bring in and sell in January, about Ralf Ragnick's coaches he's bringing in. And then I also will be live throughout the week for the Arsenal watch and Arsenal match reaction. And I will be doing a match vlog when I go to Old Trafford to watch Ralf Ragnick's Manchester United play Crystal Palace as well. Give Sancho time, guys. He will really be good under Ragnick, 100%. And Andrew said today's Chelsea's match was crying out for Donny. He's such a tidy player, and we squandered a few good opportunities with misplayed passes. 100% correct. I still just sit there and I go, what is it with these coaches? What is it with this management that is so stubborn that McTominay has to play 90 minutes every week? I tell you this now, Donny, because you've got Matic and Fred there, Donny's got quite a free roam role. Donny van de Beek would have done a much better job than McTominay in that McTominay box-to-box role today, because we saw it versus Watford. McTominay was the worst player on the pitch for 45 minutes versus Watford. Changed him to Donny, and Donny's the best player on the pitch. It's not like Donny was a little bit better. McTominay was a 1 out of 10, and Donny was like a 10 out of 10. It was like going from Anne Hegarty to Margot Robbie, going from McTominay to Donny van de Beek in the pivot versus Watford. And I just think, I look at the games we're playing, and I look that McTominay is too big, he's too chunky, not like fat, but do you know what I mean? He's not as mobile as Donny, he's not as quick with the ball, he takes 5 touches, passes sideways, passes back, gets skipped past easily. I just think, I look at that, what McTominay's doing, and he got man of the match today, I don't know how, and I just look at it and I just go, Donny van de Beek would just do that job so much better. I think Donny van de Beek would just be absolutely much, much better. I look at it and I just think Donny van de Beek could have massively been used in that match. I think it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. I think we did miss him a little bit, especially with 3 minutes behind Bruno. No excuse not to play Van de Beek. 100% yes, but they just part the bus. The coward coaching, they 100% just part the bus. Fred's chip was appalling. Lingard and Ronaldo were waiting for it clear. Yeah, Fred had a really good game, but that chip from Fred was absolutely disgraceful. McTominay just passes backwards, and Man United win a trophy only when changing ownership, when it's Glazers. The Glazers are the biggest problem at this club. You're 100% correct. Smash a like if you have not already. Subscribe down below and share the video. I've actually got a little bit of news, guys. I've got a little bit of transfer news and stuff about Ralf Ragnick and who he wants in and out to discuss in tomorrow's show. But also, Ralf Ragnick is looking to bring in coaches. Serious negotiations are now underway for Lars Kornetica to move to Manchester United as Ralf Ragnick's assistant. Moscow have offered Kornetica the role of sporting director, but it's his choice. So Ralf Ragnick's assistant could be coming in to Manchester United as well, which would be really, really interesting. And he's obviously a football coach that's, actually knows how to coach. Because if you look at the coaches at Manchester United, they're not actually coaches. They haven't actually done anything. They were crap with Mourinho. They were crap with Volley. They all shouldn't be here if you look at the coach at Man United. So it's quite nice to know that Ragnick will be bringing his own coaches. And Ralf Ragnick said that, look, if he does well at United, he'd take the full-time role. But I would like Ragnick to just pretty much be working upstairs. Question, point gained or 2 dropped? I think from a United perspective, it is probably a point gained. I know we obviously went 1-0 up, so it feels like 2 points dropped. But I think going into the game, if someone said 1-1 versus Chelsea, would you take it? I'd say yes, because I thought we were going to get battered. So from United perspective, I'd take it. But maybe from a Chelsea perspective, it's probably 2 points drop because, Watford beat us, City beat us, Liverpool beat us. Everyone's got over us. I think Chelsea were better. But yeah. Cheers for the super chat. We're on 220 likes. Let's push for 300 likes, guys. So if you have not hit that like button, please do go ahead and smash that like button. Ralph Ragnick, get Danny Olmo. We have been linked to him a bit, but nothing that I'm aware of. We have been linked to De Jong as well. There will be a bit of a January transfer show tomorrow. Kessie, De Jong, Tuchemini. Is Donny going to stay? Is Donny going to go? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Points gained. We flipping lost against Watford. Yeah, exactly. Good point there. And as Diego said, do subscribe to the channel as well, because I will be live throughout the week, pretty much daily content, live streams, and more. So yeah, 100%. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe, guys, as well as smash a like on the video. I want to do player ratings, actually. I want to get into player ratings, so do let me know your man of the match down below, because we are going to go into player ratings in just a second. I think my man of the match is between Fred and it's between Sancho, sorry. Sancho, Donny. What's she on? Donny barely even played, Alice. What you want. I think I would give my man of the match to Sancho, but I think because Fred played the 90 minutes, it will probably go to Fred. But we'll look and do the player ratings now. So keep letting me know what you're going to rate each player out of 10. For me, I'm going to start with David De Gea, and I'm going to give David De Gea a 7 out of 10. He made a few really, really good saves. It wasn't his fault for the penalty. How was he meant to save that? I say De Gea was one of our better players. De Gea was, made a few really, really good saves. You could even give him an 8. To be fair, I think I might give De Gea an 8 out of 10 instead of a 7 because the way he ran out from his line when Chelsea in the first half were through on goal so many times. In the first half, Chelsea were through on goal on multiple occasions. They were. And De Gea ran out from his line when Timo Werner was through. Chelsea caused us a lot of problems, and De Gea made some good saves, especially in the first half. So I'll probably give him an 8 out of 10. He would have kept a clean sheet if it wasn't for Wan-Bissaka giving away a penalty. So, yeah, Wan-Bissaka for me has to get a 4. I don't actually think he was atrocious. He made that block that completely redeemed himself. I think I think Wan-Bissaka's really a 5, but because he gave away the penalty, I'll give him a 4. He made that world-class block to actually redeem himself. And I think if it wasn't for the penalty and we'd won 1-0, I'd have given Wan-Bissaka a 6. But yeah, Lindelof, I think he was all right, to be honest. I think Lindelof was a bog standard 6. And I think Eric Bailly, I'd give him a 7. I think Bailly was better than Lindelof just a little bit, so I give him a 7. Steve's given Wan-Bissaka a 5. Diego's given David De Gea an 8. Fred is very hardworking, yes. And as Nifham says, get me to 25k, yes. We are 160 subscribers away. 160 subscribers away, guys, from 25k. We've got over 300 people watching. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. 160 people to go. So Alice talks upwards 25k, which is her target to hit 25k by Christmas, which I think we're on track to achieve now. But yes, if you're not subscribed, it will be massively appreciated if you do go and subscribe to the channel so we can help hit that target as well. And yeah, Lindelof 7, Bailly 8, Bailly 7, Telles 6. We're going to go Telles' player rating. Let me know down below what you'd be giving Telles out of 10. I think he's about 6. Wasn't brilliant, but wasn't rubbish, to be fair. I think Telles needs to just be match sharp. I think he needs a bit of experience. I don't think Telles is a bad player. I think he's just lacking a little bit of match sharpness. And the Manu Matic for me was a 6. I think he gave the ball away a lot. He wasn't great, but I think he redeemed himself. Scott McTominay for me, again, a 4. I mean, if I give Matic a 5, if I give Scott a 4, I still think the midfield was completely non-existent in the first half. The midfield was completely non-existent in the first half. It absolutely overrun. The first half was shocking. I don't think they were much better in the second half. They just got forward a bit. And the worst on the pitch today was Muxors and Rashi. Hope they can find form. Yeah, both of them were very underperforming. People say McTominay 3, Matic 5. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, as Paul says. So I'll give McTominay 4 and I'll give Matic a 5. Fred, I'll give a 7. If it was first half, 6. I think it's 7. I actually think he was all right in the first half as well. Bruno gets a 4. I think he was just as bad as McTominay. If McTominay's getting a 4, Bruno's getting a 4. Sancho, I'll give him a 7. If he played the full match, maybe an 8. I think you have to give Sancho a 7. I think I'll give Sancho my man of the match. Marcus Rashford, just because he scored the goal, and I'm loving Sancho. Rashford again was a 5. You could even give him a 4. Just not done much. Ronaldo couldn't do anything. He got no service, 5. Lingard couldn't do anything. Got no service, 5. Donny was on the pitch for a few minutes, so you give him a 6. And then Michael Carrick, substitutions were crap. Starting lineup was iffy, but I guess it worked because he played not to lose and we didn't lose. So I think you have to give Carrick a 6, even though the football was crap. Like, we did get a result, so I think you have to give Carrick a 6. I think they would be my play ratings, but of course, let me know yours down below. People saying Ronaldo 3, Donny 5, Bruno, Wan-Bissaka, and McTominay were the worst 3 players today. Fred was one of the better players. Definitely. Carrick, I just gave Carrick a 6 because we did get a draw versus Chelsea, and I actually think although we played crap, that was a result. That is a result. Do you know what I mean? As well, but yeah, absolutely gassed that we just didn't lose that game. I was expecting us to lose. I was expecting us to get embarrassed, and yeah, Jadon Sancho scores his first Premier League goal today. Jadon Sancho scored his first Champions League goal for Manchester United earlier in the week. Jadon Sancho is now going to be playing under Ralf Ragnick. He scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's a player that suits the Ralf Ragnick system. Jadon Sancho is balling. That is the title of this video. Jadon Sancho is balling. Ragnick's plans have sort of been revealed. Ragnick's thoughts on the match is very, very clear. The players he likes and the players he doesn't like. That's sort of what we've been talking about. What do you think Ragnick thought watching this match? He probably thought, why is McTominay passing it backwards? Why is it passing it forward? Ragnick probably thought about what Fred was doing. But I tell you this now, Jadon Sancho is balling right now. He's going to be a player. He's going to be a Manchester United player, and I couldn't like a match. Sancho man of the match, seriously, what for? Just for that one gifted moment. Bayern Fred worked their arse off all game. I just give it to Sancho because he's had a hard season, but I agree that Bayern Fred deserved it more than Sancho. I just give it to Sancho because he scored that goal, and that was a brilliant goal. Carrick did decent. At least he picked Sancho, and we look like we have a bit of organisation and work rate. He's out the door soon enough anyway. Yeah, and the fact that Carrick came out and he said that Carrick even himself didn't believe that he should still be in a job. You know, the one thing Carrick did come out and say is that even himself, he doesn't believe that he's still should be in a job. And Carrick even admitted he's lucky to still be in a United job. And look, as much as I was annoyed at Carrick and all of that, I have to respect Carrick. I think he knows he's not good enough for the job. And I think maybe Carrick will walk. I think once there's coaches in, I might indicate that Carrick could be going at the end of the season. And also, my video yesterday was talking, or the day before actually, was talking about how the coaches were set to go when, you know, Ralf Ragnick comes in and brings his coaches, how McKenna and Carrick were apparently set to go as well. And that was a report as well. Because, you know, they failed on the Mourinho, they failed on Dolly. They're not elite coaches, do you know what I mean? Rashford shouldn't have been substituted for Lingard early enough. Sancho, yeah, Sancho shouldn't have come off so early. Donny going nowhere now, which is pleasing. Yeah, Donny very, very unlikely to leave. And should Ralph be the sporting director of MU and Ten Hag gets a job? Yeah, Ralph should be sporting director of Man United, get the right coaches, and get Ten Hag in. Replace Pogba with Frankie de Jong, get a CDM, and then maybe replace the right back or striker or whoever the fuck he wants. Yeah, give it to Ralphie. Give it to bloody Ralphie, guys. 100% agree. Guys, I am going to wrap up the live stream here. Make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already. Let's go for 300 likes. If you're not subscribed, please go and subscribe down below. I will be live tomorrow night with more news and stuff. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning into today's live show. Thank you everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.